I thought ahead. I got a little bit of fucking background music, a little BGM. Welcome to the
Turn it
wrap
up.
up, week 1.
BGM.
BGM. Did I say BJM?
I don't know.
A little bit of BJM, you know.
No BJ. It's BGM.
Extra Points presents the wrap up. XFL week 1 is in the books. It's been a hell of a week 1, man. I'm excited.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I loved
It
it.
has been absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, we started off with what? We got the Vegas Vipers versus Arlington Renegades. So I guess Jay, we're gonna let you speak on that. Cover a little bit of the stats. We're gonna just talk lightly on the stats. What we're excited for going into week 2, and yeah, that's where we're at with it. So let's jump into the Vegas Vipers versus Arlington Renegades.
I mean, this was really a classic tale of two halves. First half, Renegades only put up 3 points, coming off a little field goal. Vipers ended the first half with a 14-3 lead. It was looking real good for them until the interceptions came into play. They threw 2 of them in the second half. Big picks, pick 6, all the way back. Next thing you know, Renegades back on top. This was a real come from behind victory. They were down towards the end of the fourth quarter, and the fact that we have 9-point plays, 9-point swings, really made this game possible to be a close one. Key players to look for, we're looking at quarterback Plitt, P-L-I-T-T. He's a stud. And notable NFL stars, former NFL stars, punter Marquette King of the Renegades. Final score, 22-20. Renegades over Vipers.
Yeah, that was I mean, it was a comeback. It wasn't the craziest comeback of week 1. I think both teams showed hella potential. The Vipers had some crazy.
You remember at
receivers.
first? I said you remember at first we were talking really crazy about the Vipers that first half.
Yeah.
Really, that might be one of them teams to beat.
Yeah, no, it was solid. So that really had me excited going into it. We did get to see a few of like the new rules that we aren't all used to just yet. What came into play in the first game? Didn't they use?
We saw a new challenge
They tried the
rule come
4th
into
and
effect.
15. Wasn't there a 4th and 15 attempted, but it was not successful? If I'm not mistaken. Did it? So do you remember who? What wasn't it? The Vipers that attempted it, or am I tripping?
I missed the end of the game, so I'm not the one to ask on that one. I missed the tail end of
I
that
might be
game.
mixing games up.
The first successful 4th and 15 we saw was definitely in
Jay,
this
wasn't-
afternoon's game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know
But
if that
notable
was the first one.
notable new moment from the Renegades game was we saw the first challenge of a non-call. They didn't challenge anything the referees did call. They challenged what they didn't call. So essentially, the coach called his own penalty, and they reviewed it, and it worked. That was a key
that's
moment for
wild.
them.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, so I'd like to see this, like, so the challenge shit, even today in the game we just saw, it was like, bro, if Seattle had that timeout still, well, I mean, then we seen the replay and it was actually a fumble, but it's always like the idea of, like, you never know what could happen, so keeping that timeout is, like, essential. It's super essential. When
The one thing that we did say that it was brand new to us in the first game was hearing the coaches calling the plays, hearing Dean talk about the reviews.
Yeah.
So that was like
Yeah.
that was all
I
fresh
mean,
to
Dean,
us. So
Dean
we
is
were all
you
going
know,
crazy with that.
he's
Dean
just
is
so cool.
He is really cool.
I love Dean.
Yeah.
I mean, that was our first take on that, so that was dope to see.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. So that was our first game there. That was the Vipers losing at in Arlington. So they're
That
going
baby
0-1
blue.
into week 2. Arlington Renegades going 1-0 into week 2, and I think who are they seeing? I forget the. I should have had the schedule ready to go for week 2. I'm pretty sure Arlington sees. I don't want to miss it for me, so I'll wait. This is where the edit's going to come into play.
Yeah.
So week 2, Arlington is going to see the Roughnecks,
Houston
the fucking
Roughnecks.
Cockthroats. And that's going to happen on Sunday. That's going to be the 8 o'clock game. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 o'clock game. Switching it up next Sunday, 6 o'clock game, p.m. Eastern. Oh no, that's why.
Looking
It's
forward
central.
to that one.
It's central timing.
That's
It
7.
is 8 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock. It's
No,
just
7.
I'm seeing Sunday,
What?
February 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern.
7?
p.m.? 7
why is this? Why do I see it
7
in?
p.m.
Why do I see it in CT?
Well, CT is still an hour behind us, so your math
It's only
is
it's only
off
1 hour
anyways.
behind us.
So my math is just bad.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you're
fair
in
enough.
Florida. It's crazy time.
Either way, man. Speaking of Florida, Orlando was the next game. We were there over there in Houston, seeing the Roughnecks. This was a hard game to watch, man. Because going into this game, I knew statistically we weren't ranked very highly in the league. But I'm big on it, man. I'm big on the coaching. I'm big on T-Buck. I'm big on everything that Orlando has to offer. I think the fan base is going to be immense. I think that we're going to the game next week, so we're going to see firsthand. But either way, there was a few things I did like to see, and there's also things I wish I did see from the Guardians. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Francois play in the first week, which is totally cool. We had Paxton Lynch starting the game. I don't know how I feel about
I do
Paxton
not
right
like
now.
Lynch.
He's wishy-washy for me. I feel like if he got to moving out of the pocket a little bit more, we might have been all right. But he took a hell of a bunch of sacks.
And he got benched.
It's crazy. He got sacked 4 times. He threw 15 for 21. And they actually threw in Dormady. I'm pretty sure it was in the third quarter. Dormady ended up throwing 12 for 18, which was cool, but he did end up throwing 2 interceptions. Paxton Lynch threw an interception himself. So in terms of quarterbacks, I was not happy with our game.
But you weren't even thrilled when you went into it either because you wanted a different quarterback.
I guess. But I did get to see other things in terms of our receiving, like I'm always going to say this man's name wrong. Lattimore? Did I say it right that time? Shouts out to Cody Lattimore. He is a fucking savage. He had 68 yards, and that's only off of 5 receptions. He was killing it. I wanted to see more of Rambo. Rambo had 4 receptions for 22 yards, but they were really kind of locking him down. Eli Rogers had 4 receptions for 40 yards. Dedrick Thomas had 2 receptions for 42 yards. So there was a couple big plays that I was happy with. There was a fumble. All in all, we didn't look terrible, but we did get outplayed. The Houston Roughnecks came in absolutely crazy. I mean, they had a touchdown in the first quarter, fucking 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. It was a massacre. They had another touchdown in the fourth quarter. We only had a touchdown our first drive, which was like 10 plays deep. Boom, touchdown. I'm like, oh, we're on fire. Let's go. They talking shit on us. I was talking hella shit. Big OGs. Da-da-da-da. And then I looked like an asshole for the rest of the game until the fourth quarter. When we finally got another touchdown. But it was too little too late. Game was pretty much in the books. In terms of the Roughnecks stats, Brandon Silvers is an absolute cannon. He threw 26 for 42, getting 272 yards. He threw 2 interceptions. Took 3 sacks for 16. Not too bad. Notable rushers there was Max Borghi. 8 carries for 42 yards. We did see some from Lee with 6 carries for 25 yards. In terms of receiving, we've seen 5 receptions from Travell Harris for 48 yards. Max Borghi took 4 receptions for 32 yards. Kirkland had 5 receptions for 71 yards. And DeAndre Burnett, 8 receptions for 90 yards. Going fucking crazy. They didn't really make too many mistakes. They kept the ball. What can I say? They played a great game. Houston looks good, but honestly, I hate their fucking guts. And that's going to be a forever thing. And that's just the way that's going to go. So
That was an interesting game. 5 interceptions, 0 field goals.
Wild.
Leaving it all out on the field.
I do know we're going to see Francois play next week, and we're going to be there for it. And I'm hoping I get what I need out of a quarterback in Francois. So,
Did they say why he was ineligible week 1?
it was just a coach. It was just a T-Buck decision, man. It was just like, they basically put it out there that Paxton Lynch came in 2 weeks earlier. And it's like, yeah, this guy's going to be our starter week 1. But if anything, we're going to let Dormady get a little bit of play time, work it out. And the same thing was said for week 2. So we're probably going to see Paxton Lynch start week 2. And we're going to see Francois, play.
I really don't think that Lynch should be starting. He was not good.
His legs didn't look good, man.
He just didn't look good at all. But I really am digging this whole green going on here.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the lime green.
Yeah.
Jerseys are amazing. Big fan of their jerseys.
Their jerseys, they're not the greatest jerseys. I'm not gonna lie to you. My jerseys are better. But they're there.
All right, moving on. We have St. Louis Battlehawks going up against San Antonio Brahmas.
You know,
It's gonna be up for the
it
win.
was a fantastic game. It started off very slow, though. If I could say at the very least, 3-3 the very first half, and we didn't see any movement at all whatsoever. It was fun, but it wasn't like exciting. Then we have those beautiful Battlehawks that came through, and they decided at the very end that they were going to get a touchdown. Then they were going to go for the 3 points, and then on top of it, they went for the 4th and 15.
Yeah, that 4th and 15.
That 4th and 15 was insane.
That was.
It was so insane.
Yeah.
And you called it too the whole entire time.
But this is my thing with the Battlehawks. They did jack shit the
The
entire.
whole game, it was horrible.
You're right. The Brahmas dominated every category
Like, let me
statistically,
get up this.
but they lost the game.
But Balaj is like top tier. He was 84 receiving yards in the game. He did so fantastic. He wonderful. And then you have on the Battlehawks, you had 40 yards to Prohl and 45 yards to Adderman.
Bro, they had one field goal in the second quarter, and that was it until fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was insane.
But every coach always preached that fourth quarter is everything.
And even in this league,
Fourth
that
quarter
means
is
even
everything.
more, like legitimate.
And that
with
field
the
goal,
4th and
that field
15.
goal in the second quarter was the only points in that quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that
then he went
Bruce-
on to miss two
start.
terribly missed field goals.
We were talking about these first 3 quarters. This is the worst game we've seen so far. And then
Yeah,
the
it
fourth
was.
quarter hit, and it was all magic.
It got really.
it was.
it
It
excited.
felt like it hit them.
yeah.
They had about 3 minutes left, drove downfield. Now this was the one where they were down 15-3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because
They got the 6 points. They got the
and then
3-point conversion.
Yeah.
And then they got
It
the
was
6
15-12. They did the 4th and 15, got the ball back. Big pass down the right side. Go down and score to take the lead all within 2-3 minutes. This is why the XFL is awesome.
Absolutely.
We see McCarron throwing 18 for 26, picking up 190 yards. He did get hit 5 times for a loss of 23. Brian Hill, lead rusher there with 55 yards over there on the Battlehawks. We also see 4 receptions from, I'm going to fuck all these names up, Austin Prohl. 4 receptions for 49 yards.
Solid.
That was really, that's really all the notable. I mean, there was a few
Adderman
other
did good.
receptions. I mean, Butler had a couple receptions, 3 receptions for
Adderman
32
did
yards.
good. Look at Adderman.
Adderman.
45.
They're spreading the ball around too.
Oh yeah, I mean,
multiple
yeah,
guys
but
getting
the
3,
Aitman, you're talking about
4
Aitman.
catches.
Aitman had 2 receptions for
Aitman.
45 yards, but he still only had 2 receptions, big receptions. But
They were big receptions.
Durant 3 receptions for 6 yards. So it wasn't like I said, they did jack shit until that 4th quarter. In terms of the Brahmas, we
They were good. They had.
yeah, I mean Cone. Shouts out to Cone. Cone looked good. He had
Cone.
25 for
Cone.
30. Shout out to Cone.
We love
Love
him.
him.
We do love
Jack
Cone.
Stone.
25 for 36. He only got sacked twice for 16 yards. He wasn't doing bad. He had 4 carries for 10 yards. We also seen Patrick take 10 carries for 38 yards. We seen Balaj killing it, killing the run game. 24 carries for 84 yards. In terms of receiving, we've seen 4 receptions for Fred Brown, 36 yards. We've seen Tolliver getting 49 yards off of 3 receptions. We've seen 7 receptions from Akers, netting him 35 yards. We've seen Yelder, 29 yards with 2 receptions. They really spread the ball around, which was cool. It showed that they had a lot going on in terms of their receivers. Johnson had 17 yards off a reception. Everybody got the ball. Everybody touched the shit. It was really dope to see. It was wild, man. It was just another fucking great game front to back.
It was.
Up next, Seattle Sea Dragons
Gotcha.
going over there to DC.
So this was hands down one of the most entertaining games to watch, as we all were talking about it. The thing about this was it was all defense for the defenders, which is funny, play on the name defenders defense, because as far as offense goes, we didn't even throw for 100 yards. We had 93 total passing yards between both quarterbacks. So we didn't really have a lot to say about the air, while the Sea Dragons put up 280 yards. So he had the most passing yards of everybody in the whole XFL this weekend. But his 2 picks were after the whole RIP Beer Snake. And then after that, he threw the 1 pick, took it to the house.
Yeah, we'll go in deep on that.
Oh,
Beer Snake, man.
Snake. Rip your snake.
When was that? Are we gonna go in on that? Was about just after halftime.
Bro, this is the players.
That was in the
league.
third quarter.
Yeah,
So-
that third quarter. It was the third quarter. Yeah, that was when shit changed. Energy, big
So
time.
for people that
change.
didn't
Because
see,
as soon-
there's a big
as soon as
energy
that
shift in the
happened-
crowd.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, we got the pick 6, and then our defenses came alive. Because you remember, Sea Dragons were walking all over our defense. As soon
People
as
might
those
be
lemons
asking,
got
what is
thrown,
Lemongate?
It was Lemongate. Hashtag Lemongate. And RIP
So, I guess-
Snake.
The fans were stacking up a beer snake.
And they were trying
Yeah.
to keep it away from security.
So they were passing it like throughout
Like,
the
keep
crowd. They were
away.
passing it to try to keep it away from security. I guess they eventually got it, and to rebel, they decided, "Fuck this! I'm throwing my lemons on the field."
And they didn't have no little slices of lemons.
They
They were whole-
These were whole
lemons.
halves.
Yeah.
and they were
got-
that was a beautiful. We talked about the NFL would have edited out, cut the commercial. The cameraman was
are
showing
picking
the
up
lemons.
and showing
Yeah,
it. It's
he was like
fucking
this.
hilarious. It is so entertaining. This league is fucking amazing. Salute to Danny Garcia and The Rock, obviously. I know we roast the shit out of everybody, but this fucking league is
Oh.
awesome.
She looked great. See that cream saver, that blue cream saver
That
jumper
Cream
on,
Saver drip was fire.
blue cream saver onesie.
Yeah, and that cream. If nobody knows, we have a whole cream saver kick this weekend. You
We
know,
might have to get some. I don't think they make them anymore. We can order the old ones.
right? But
One interesting thing I was sitting there looking at is that there wasn't very many sacks in our game. We didn't.
No.
They're saying that DC quarterbacks
thinking
didn't
about
get
that.
sacked at all, and the Sea Dragons only got sacked twice. So really, the offensive lines were doing their thing.
Yeah.
But
Shout
that's
out
the
that
crazy
good
thing.
turf.
So we didn't have 100 yards passing. We didn't have 100 yards rushing. This is legit a defensive win. If it wasn't for our defense getting the 2 picks and keeping the game alive, it would have been a Sea Dragons game.
Yeah, 2 picks
I mean-
and 1 forced fumble.
I'm excited to see how we continue to use both quarterbacks if we decide to keep going with that, with having Derek King and Jordan with Tia. Where are we going with Tamu?
Yeah.
Tamu.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if they continue to use those 2 in a scheme, or if they're going to pick one or the other and have it maybe like a wildcat
I
formation.
feel like
you
they're
said.
gonna have to work out some type of scheme for it. Like it's
Yeah.
not gonna work any conventional scheme. Like you're gonna have to work something out special for that. And I think you have a great run game too. In what was Buddy's name? In 1 second, Armstead and Smith. They go fucking
Yep.
ham. So you never
Yeah, they
really
do.
know where the ball is gonna go if you put King in there, right? Like it's legitimately, it just shakes up the defense tremendously. So I like the way DC looks right now. Sea Dragons were looking crazy too. You had Ben DiNucci fucking just looking amazing up
Yeah.
until Lemongate.
Look at their
the
receiving stats.
Bro,
Josh
35
Gordon,
for
74
54.
yards.
It was like he was
DiNucci.
just boom. Like in that, I wish I had the first half stats because Ben DiNucci in the first half was going absolute
Cooking.
ape shit.
Cooking.
I'm telling you, he was allergic to lemons. That boy has a citrus problem. As soon as the lemons hit the field, he was fucking shooken up. He's throwing picks. It was crazy.
He was crying.
It was crazy.
I was like, 'cause if
Yeah,
you think about this, Josh
they
Gordon
squeezed him
had
out.
74 yards. You had Blake Jackson 51 yards. You had Pearson had 95
Pearson
yards.
was
They
looking
had
great.
multiple receivers looking crazy.
Mhm.
So if they continue that, they're going to be a dangerous team in the league.
Yeah.
Don't tell T that, but they're going to be a dangerous team in the league.
Yeah, we.
I
don't-
mean, all right. So I know it's early, but let's just say it right now, without any bias from our fan base, right? Who do you think is front running for the divisions right now? If we had to say it.
I have to say Sea Dragons for sure.
You think
I don't know if I
CJ
could
with
call
even
it.
starting 0-1, you're putting them as
Look
the
at how
head of
hard
the.
it went. If they didn't have Lemongate,
But their
I'm sure
their
they would've
defense
won.
cracked. Their offense was easily
We just
shaken.
watched them lose to another team in the north, and you're gonna say,
I mean,
I
Houston put
I
up
respect it.
33.
I respect it. I'm gonna have to say, fucking Houston cock smokers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, right? They did.
The
They put up.
Roughnecks have a really good coach.
So Roughnecks, excuse me, I think I'll go Roughnecks for South right now as a front runner, and I think I'm gonna go DC for the North right now for front runner because I don't have a reason not to. After watching these games first week, that's just how I feel right now. And I know we lost our music; it was sounded so good.
I'm not trying to be biased. I do think the Renegades are looking all right.
Yeah,
not front runners, maybe like middle of the pack.
The only thing, my only concern is, as much as I would be like, yeah, he picked my team for the front runner, like, but the only thing that worries me just a bit is I need more out of the offense because that defense ain't gonna be able to save you every single game.
I'm kind of messing with the
Battlehawks.
Battlehawks.
You imagine if we? I think we have to figure out a way.
I think the Battlehawks look terrible.
Put more points on the board.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the teams that have to work really, really hard right now, let's do that too. I said obviously I'm putting my team there. Orlando Guardians. We have a lot to work on, a ton. There's so many questionable things right now that I see on the field. Like it's just a ton of shit to work on. I think in terms of the North, I think it is the Battlehawks. I think that they have a shit ton to work on. Like, let's be real. Does anybody disagree
Well, that's
with
a good
that?
matchup next week. Battlehawks versus Sea Dragons, kind of our top seeds.
Yeah, I'm not.
Allegedly.
I have to agree with you on, you know, Orlando and the Battlehawks have a lot of things to work on.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the teams after the first week, they're going to go through and self-evaluate too. They're going to be like, all right, so that didn't work, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was crazy how many fights broke out.
Yeah, it was wild. They let them play ball. I respect that.
They're very passionate, and they're letting them hit. They're letting them boys get rough, play football.
Yeah, they
it's
are
beautiful to
nut
see.
taps.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't a bunch of penalties though. For the most part,
I'll say
for the weekend, it wasn't crazy.
No.
There was one.
They're letting them
ejection.
boys contest throws. There's not a whole bunch of pass interference being called. They're letting them play ball.
Yep.
You know, I thought it was great when we saw somebody just get smacked. You know.
Yeah, somebody definitely got bitch smacked today. It was
Yeah,
crazy. He
a
got
player got
suplexed
kicked
and
in
then
the first game.
smacked.
Yeah, in the first game, somebody got kicked in their face.
It was wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
I
looking
mean,
at all these
now, there's
scores, and there's
definitely
lot
a
of
gray
quarters with
area
0 points.
for players getting malicious and shit. Like you don't want that, but at the same time, when it's all in fucking
yeah,
the
let 'em
name
have
of the
fun.
sport. Like, bro, if it's not hurting nobody, like they're playing ball, man. Let them
They
play
are,
ball.
you know. It
I
was
like
fun.
Agreed.
Now, what was the most interesting?
It was a hell of an
thing for
opening
you?
weekend.
Oh, you said what? Ben?
What was the most interesting thing for you guys for the weekend?
Renegade for sure. Lemonade took. That's the MVP.
Lemonade
of
was
the week
amazing.
one.
And then when they scored the touchdown, when they intercepted it and ran it back, and everyone threw their drinks in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah. That bro, they were going
And
so
then,
hard
and
in
then,
DC.
and then you had old boy that intercepted us and then ran to that same end,
Yeah, he said bring it on.
and then got
oh
cups
my
thrown
god,
at him.
all types of bottles and
Yeah, Lemongate was awesome.
they were going crazy.
Now you want to talk?
I
about
mean,
the
I liked,
rant?
one of my first moments I really enjoyed was The Rock telling everyone,
What did you
let's
tell
ball
them?
out, baby!
Ball out, baby. Now, do you want to go on your rant about the things that you hate?
I hate Houston. I hate Houston.
Okay,
I hate the
I was
Roughnecks.
talking about your, the open mics and everything.
Oh,
else.
okay. I will talk about that. Let's bring it up. So
ABC?
the first game, right? Vipers versus Renegades. We got to see. I was fucking
Mind
in
blown.
awe, just seeing like the announcers run up to these players like while they're still trying to like get into the huddle and shit and get these quick like interviews. They're amazing. I seen the guy run onto the end zone when they were celebrating. It was and throw the mic there to try to get some. It was amazing. Now I do understand. There's a lot of excitement. People start cussing and all that extra shit. We need that. Can we get an uncensored version, please? ESPN Plus, can we get an uncensored version of this, please? We need an adult version of this XFL shit. We need it.
And we
We're
don't
not
need
the only
these
people
nobodies
asking for
with
this.
microphones. We need
Because
real
right.
content creators on the sidelines.
I also seen, after that first game, there was probably a few fines. I heard the word shit tossed around a couple times. Okay, cool. I seen after that, it started to tighten up a little bit. We seen less interviews,
With
and
the
we seen that
players.
to the point of today, there was like barely any. And if there was, it was the coaches. It was barely any.
A player or two here or there.
Right. I need that back.
That was exciting.
All right. So the reason why I say that's giving these players a way to become draws, to really sell their personality. And we were waiting on that. We want to like be able to, like, who had the best interview this week? That gives us something else to tier list. I need to have that. Like, I need these players' personalities sold to me, and that's the best way to do it. That's just how I'm feeling right there, man. Salute to the ESPN Plus, man, and ABC. But I just need an uncensored version, please. Because there's even they said it in the last game. They're like, oh yeah, we can't let you hear it all. You should let us hear it all. I want it all.
We love it. That's when the best stuff comes through.
Let's do a couple early superlatives.
I don't know what that word means, bro.
I posted what superlatives mean a couple of days ago. How do you not know what that means?
I don't know what it means.
Best hair. Most likely to.
Oh, we're doing best hair like in like.
But we're gonna
Joe
do
Powell.
that. We're gonna
Joe
set that
Powell.
up. I mean, you talk about Buddy with like the dreads down to forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard to
He had
beat that.
pretty hair.
It's probably the best hair I've
His
seen.
hair all the way down to his knees, and it like when
He
was
said
running,
down to you.
it was-
I don't even know where.
It was flowing It was flowing wonderfully. You know.
Yeah, it was whipping it in people's face. It was hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, he has good hair.
Can we talk about our man Dean?
Shouts out to Dean, man. He probably has some of the best hair too. He's just cool.
He's
so
so
He's so
cool.
He is so cool.
He is so cool. Dean Benedino. I
Oh,
can't wait to
Lord.
meet that guy. You think we'll meet him this weekend?
I don't think we'll be able to meet him. I think that they have him in his own little area.
He's in the
That's
booth,
how much
yeah.
He's up in New York. He's in
He
New
is
York.
so cool. Of course we wouldn't meet him. He is the coolest guy.
He
I'm
is
getting
the
that
coolest
he's
guy.
so cool shirt.
Yeah,
I
he is
am
cool.
getting that. He's
I'm
so
getting a
cool
let me
shirt.
pull my tabs up shirt.
Man, stay
I
tuned,
wrote
man.
down, I wrote
Extra
down all
points.
the little-
Oh, you did.
R.I.P.
Oh,
Beer
that's
Snake
crazy.
shirts.
R.I.P. Beer Snakes. We have definitely merch coming, man. Extra points.
Indeed.
We're gonna be doing this every week, plus extra content throughout the week, hopefully for our teams specifically, the best we can do. The inner. Wow, I'm calling our fucking shows wrong. What's the fucking name of our show? How do I say it?
Inner
intersection.
points.
Intersection.
The intersection. That's the name. The intersection. That is the show where we cover the games live. The wrap up is what we're gonna be doing once a week on Sunday nights after all the games are done. Much appreciation, man. Hit the sub button, hit the like buttons, hit all them buttons, man. Check us on the TikTok for all the fucking clips that E's probably gonna be spending tons of time getting out of these shows. I think this is gonna be major. It's only week 1, and I'm dumb excited. Go Guardians.
Go Renegades.
DC Defenders.
Man, Vipers got
I'm a renegade.
Our colors are the best colors. I'm sorry, my jerseys outrank your guys' jerseys. I do have to say that. Out of all
I like the
jerseys,
all red. Red's my
mine
favorite
are-
color, so it
mine
works
is
out.
so much better than all of them.
My helmet doesn't match my jersey, but I'm okay with it.
Everybody likes black.
Until next time, we'll see you next week.